Welcome to Sonic Sciences. Nothing in this world can take the place of persistence. It's the sort of statement that feels too clean, too sculpted, almost mythological in its simplicity. But linger on it for a moment. Sit with it, as one would a koan or mantra. What is it actually saying? Persistence, determination, not talent, not genius, not education. The words are often credited to Calvin Coolidge, the 30th President of the United States. But their origins are murky, like something passed down around ancient fires before being stamped with a seal of authority. And perhaps that's fitting, because this quote doesn't belong to one man. It belongs to anyone who's ever stood at the base of a mountain and started climbing, knowing full well they might never see the summit. Coolidge may or may not have penned the lines, but someone did, and whoever they were, they understood a great truth, that the most precious kind of power is not force, or brilliance, or pedigree. It's grit. But here's where the story takes a turn. Because these words, carved into the mythology of American perseverance, also appear in one of the most unexpected places imaginable. The Complete Golden Dawn System of Magic by Israel Regardie. A book of arcane rituals, esoteric symbols, sacred geometry, and elemental invocations. It is, by all accounts, a manual of ceremonial magic and of the human will. And there, in its preface, are those same immortal lines. Nothing in this world can take the place of persistence. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. Why? Why would a book dedicated to the metaphysical practices of the Hermetic order begin with a quote so starkly pragmatic? Well, it's as thick a book as you'll ever see, for one thing, and persistence is needed just to get through it, let alone accomplish its aims and absorb the esoteric teachings. But because within the halls of the occult, behind the robes and the wands and the sigils, there lies a singular truth. Transformation does not come to the curious. It comes to the committed. Let us begin where many believe greatness resides: talent. Talent is seductive. It flatters the ego and comforts the untested. But talent, unrefined, is a fruit left to rot on the branch. The world is full of people with stunning natural gifts, musicians, writers, thinkers, whose names we'll never know because they quit when the work got hard. Coolidge, or whoever wrote the quote, understood this. So did Regardie. In fact, the Golden Dawn's entire philosophy hinges not on who you are when you begin, but on what you are willing to endure to become something more. Magic, at its root, is will made visible. And will must be exercised daily, painfully, relentlessly. Persistence is not glamorous, but in magic as in life, it is the secret ingredient behind every so-called miracle. Education is essential, but it is not a destination. The world, as the quote says, is full of educated derelicts, people with degrees, credentials, titles, who never learned how to press on when the world stopped applauding. Knowledge is static, persistence is kinetic, and it is the kinetic that moves mountains. The Golden Dawn system is built on vast bodies of knowledge. Astrology, Kabbalah, alchemy. But those who progressed did not do so because they memorized charts. They advanced because they submitted themselves over and over to the discipline of the work. Genius, too, is often misunderstood. It is not lightning, it is flint and steel, struck again and again until fire is born. Unrewarded genius is a proverb, not because it is rare, but because it is tragically common. History is littered with unfulfilled potential. Why? Because genius is not enough. The world doesn't reward what you could be. It rewards what you become. And becoming always costs more than we expect. Press on. 2 words. A command. A covenant. A call. To press on is to enter into agreement with the unknown. It is to say, I will not be defined by what is easy, and this is the heart of magic. Magic is not spectacle. It is discipline. A magician wakes up at dawn, recites invocations, performs rituals, keeps a journal, meditates, and contemplates the ineffable for months, for years, without result. Why? Because they believe that the act of pressing on is itself the gateway to transformation. This is not just esotericism. It is neuroplasticity. It is psychology. It is every athlete who trains in the dark, every artist who labors in obscurity, and every human being who decides, I am not done yet. The quote says, persistence and determination are omnipotent, not powerful, not helpful, omnipotent. It sounds hyperbolic until you look at history through that lens. It wasn't talent that built the pyramids, it was persistence. It wasn't genius that cracked the atom, it was persistence. It wasn't education that launched civil rights. It was persistence. And it will be persistence. Not luck, not inheritance. Persistence shapes your life. You may never be the most talented. You may never be the most educated. You may not even be called a genius. But if you keep going, if you rise again and again, if you press on, you become something rarer than all of those things. You become unstoppable. Persistently, I'll continue to ask you all to like and offer your thoughts in the comments below. And subscribe to Sonic Sciences. Thank you for persisting to the end.